We have now learned about a US-led special forces operation which was carried out in central Yemen Saturday against Al-Qaeda. This was Donald Trump's first military operation. It was planned by the Pentagon for months. It was ultimately authorized by Donald Trump. President Obama had refused to approve this attack just 10 days before leaving office because the Pentagon wanted to do it on a moonless night, which wasn't going to happen until Trump was in office to provide more cover of darkness. Al-Qaeda had been made aware of the approach of U.S. forces before this hour-long firefight, and this ultimately led to the death of U.S. Navy SEAL William Owens, who was killed along with three others who were wounded in that attack, and there was also a Marine Corps aircraft damaged, which had to be destroyed. The U.S. Defense Department reported that 14 Al-Qaeda fighters were killed, including three prominent figures. The U.S. military had originally denied that there were any civilian casualties. It was later reported that up to 30 civilians were killed as a result of aerial gunfire, including at least 8 women and including at least 7 children. The Yemen foreign minister said the extrajudicial killings and killing civilians are condemned acts that support terrorism. Here is the really crazy thing we have now learned. It appears as though Donald Trump casually approved this military raid with only limited information about it over dinner. And this sort of took aback some military intelligence experts who then the next day went through their own internal discussion of the raid. But it was really kind of irrelevant because Trump had already approved it really, really quickly in a way that presidents typically don't approve these things. And as far as the reports that are coming out of this dinner go, it is incredibly disturbing that Donald Trump is making these decisions so casually. I mean, just picture it. Trump sitting there with Jared Kushner, and I don't remember if it was Steve Bannon or which other advisor was there, Reince Priebus or whoever it was, just sort of having dinner and saying, yeah, let's do it. And of course, the military saying, well, we would normally go into much more detail. You would potentially be in the situation room while this is going on. It's also been reported that Trump wasn't even in the situation room while this was going on. And a lot of people are saying that this may have gone differently if Trump was in the situation room. I don't really know whether that's the case. It seems to me that if you're actually conducting a military operation, you probably want Trump as far away from it as possible. The more hands-off Trump is, probably the better. But it's more about Trump couldn't even be bothered to be in the Situation Room during the raid. This was confirmed by Press Secretary Sean Spicer, who said Trump was here in the presidential residence. And the morning after the raid, before addressing the fact that there were American casualties, before addressing anything else about the operation, Donald Trump decided, maybe not surprisingly, to go to war with the media about this, tweeting, quote, "Somebody with aptitude and conviction should buy the fake news and failing New York Times and either run it correctly or let it fold with dignity." Um, is there anything presidential about this, folks? I mean, we have here a president who is casually approving raids that are leading to the deaths of dozens of people with as yet unproven benefit when it comes to the intelligence that was recovered, not able to be bothered to be in the Situation Room while this is going on. And then the first public statement that Trump chooses to make about this is about, quote, fake news from the New York Times based on their report of the raid. Not exactly supporting the troops, is it? This is incredibly disturbing, and I really hope. You would think that even the war hawk neoconservatives would be concerned with this because they claim to want to support the troops. I know that that's become code for basically send troops into as many military engagements as possible and put a yellow ribbon on your car or fridge. But if you really support the troops, you would condemn the way that Donald Trump handled and reacted to this.